Hello, family. Welcome to Radical Connections TV with Jesse and Irina Kaufman. Mwah.
Where we love each other 24/7 and we've never had an argument or a fight.
Yeah, we even love each other when we sleep.
Some people say that's not realistic. They say that's not possible. You're not going deep if you're not having an argument or two every so often. I beg to differ. there's communications and connection skills that can help you maturely process through differences without necessarily being a negative thing that goes south.
That's right.
And anyhow, so what's our title for today?
Today we're going to talk about date nights.
Oh, my favorite part.
You're probably curious what it's going to be about. So, but before we go there, there's a lot of things that people are talking about nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm. Like date night looks different depending on somebody's perspective and what they've always been told, right?
Yeah. And I know that most people are talking about planning this time of the year.
Yeah.
All of us are getting into our planning mode, writing probably the list of things you want to accomplish this year. Right?
Yeah. The wise plan their year.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'll mention this too, is if your New Year's resolutions or your planned year is not on your calendar and broken down to daily action steps, you probably won't accomplish them. They'll fizzle out or it'll become very harder than it needs to be.
Do you think it's same with date nights?
I think so. If you don't plan date nights, eventually, life gets busy and, we don't have time. And, you let these things fall by the wayside, and you might not be able to tell a huge difference right away, but little things add up over time.
That's right.
In both directions, regularly plan date nights on a weekly basis where you carve out time with your spouse that you make it happen. You do whatever it takes to make it happen. It doesn't matter if you have children or not. If it's important enough to you, you'll make it happen.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's the question?
So, people get married. That should be enough, right? To be together.
Oh, yeah. We dated to get married. Now what?
Why go on dates? Like, don't you date before marriage and then you marry?
Well, I guess that would depend if the person sees dating as as a means to an end or as a part of the ongoing process of maintaining deep connection. See, there's the key. What got you married will also keep you married, right?
Yeah. So let's talk about this because, what is really a date night? What is it different between date night and a staying at home night? I don't know, or just being together all the time and liking each other.
To me, date night includes face-to-face time where you each other, you and your spouse are totally the focus. Where you're totally focused, not distracted with a movie. Watching a movie together is not face-to-face time.
No work talk.
No processing, no getting into the deep stuff. This is the time to have fun, connect, and enjoy each other. Dream. Go do something different that you've never done before. Walk a new neighborhood, walk a new park, drive to the neighboring town and be a local tourist. Go to a new restaurant if you're into eating out. And it depends on what you want to budget for. The sky's the limit. I mean, you can make it as crazy or as plain Jane as you want, but if you want to go, if finances are an issue, well, then go take a walk in an interesting area that you've never walked and enjoy nature. If you got a budget to blow, then take her, make it special, whatever that is to you. But the one thing that I can tell, just anyone, if you show me your calendar and I look at your standing appointments on your calendar, I can tell you what your standards are. Your standards are revealed on your standing appointments on your calendar, like cyclical standing appointments. And that's what we're talking about, weekly date nights. And there was
so you're saying that you better schedule your date nights and
yes,
keep it.
Yes, absolutely.
Standing.
I know if I don't plan the date nights, it's much harder to decide what we want to do. And then it gets into this thing. Well, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do?
Let's watch a movie and eat popcorn.
And okay, well, let's just watch a movie and then
and cuddle.
Which that's good. I'm not saying
if that's your plan.
But if it's just that every time, that you need to, it's good to be creative,
Yes.
Yeah. So and also about this thing about time, we're all busy. Let's just face it. Most of us. If you're a hardworking person, you're busy, and time is something that needs to be your servant. You need to tell it to go. It works the same with money. Doesn't matter how much or how little you make. Every dollar needs a name. Every minute needs a name. It needs to be titled. It needs to be designated. It needs an assignment. And if you don't assign your minutes and your dollars will control you and make you busy and make you broke to where you don't have time and you don't have money because you are the servant instead of the master. So there's also the thing of like even go into tracking your accomplishments, even in the relationship realm. What you keep track of, you can measure.
That's good.
And you can then get data and feedback on what you need to improve and also celebrate the things that you have improved on. In other words, on my calendar, whatever we did for our date nights, I leave it on the calendar so I can scroll back and say, oh, and this weekend we did this, and that weekend we did that.
How was it for you?
Yeah, I leave on the thing that we planned and what we did. And
we do go through those questions, the feedback questions. Did you like that? Was it fun for you? Would you do it again? How can I improve for the next time?
Because if you're not in control of your time, you're not in control of your future results.
Yeah. So we talked about married couples. What about the singles?
What if you're
They're
single?
Thinking like, gosh, you guys,
like, what if you're single as a Pringle, bachelor, or
and have no one in your life?
So-called old maid. I don't like that term, but you're single and you have no prospects. Date nights still apply to you.
How?
That's our little secret. We're going to reveal it to you. So if you're single, this is how we literally did it, leading up to us meeting each other. Is we carved out a specific time at the end of the week on Saturday nights, because we keep Saturday as our Shabbat because that's what God did, and we like to copy God.
What is Shabbat?
Sabbath, or your day of rest. And it's nothing to do with being religious or anything as far as the day. It's just the fact that we like to copy God, and God knows best. He rested on the seventh day. And he was finished. He finished the week with rest instead of starting the week with rest. And if you choose to rest on a different day, well, I'd rather you pick a day and rest than not rest at all. Okay, but we end the day with rest, and then we have a date night, and it's the ending the day of rest with a date night. We're refreshed. We're ready to get out there and do something fun.
And give your spouse the best of you if you're married, and if you're single, going back to singles.
Yep. Yeah. So what I did literally when I was single is I would schedule a certain amount of time at the end of the day on Saturdays to literally point blank reach out, communicate, connect with either via text message, which should lead to a call, and a call which should lead to FaceTime, video calling, and a video call ultimately should lead to meeting in person. It's the natural progression of communication with modern technology is message, phone call, video chat, in person. I would do one of those four, and I'd be in various stages with various individuals.
You were communicating.
I was communicating and just
practicing
building friendships.
Connections.
Yes, with many different eligible women that were honorable, single. I wasn't out. It wasn't a one-night stand. It wasn't dating. I was literally just becoming friends with them with no expectations. And I let them know that, listen, I'm just practicing and exercising my connection and communication skills and making friends in the process and being a blessing in the process. And no expectations. This is not dating. I just want to be friends. And, because I need to get out there and stretch myself.
Yeah.
And if something more happens between us down the road, great. If not, well, maybe someday we'll be friends as couples, have double dates someday when we meet our spouses or whatever. And so that I did that every Saturday. I had a date night designated specifically towards connecting with someone in such a way that I know I'm building and prepping for meeting the one that I actually want to marry. And out of that mixture of girls I was communicating with, that's where I found Indiana.
Yeah.
And I literally it was just, it sounds cold, but it was literally just a numbers game.
Yeah.
You can only make so many friends, but before eventually you do that long enough and not with enough different people, eventually you're going to find your spouse, because the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord. And the very word find indicates a seeking. That's why Jesus said, ask, seek, knock. And the door will be open unto you.
And for me, I also had a date night on Saturday as well when I was single. I did it a little bit differently. For a while, I had it before I started a directed search towards my husband. But I would go to the beach. It was more my date with Jesus at that time, because my spouse, in a way, was Jesus, right? He was my husband. So I would go on a date with Jesus. I might watch a movie at home, but I knew that 6:00 on Saturday, that's my date. And I would go to the beach and watch the sunset on the beach, walk on the beach. Sometimes I would invite a friend to go with me if I want to, but I was keeping those nights for future spouse to move into, so that if I'm always going out with friends on Saturday nights, then my friends after that would feel betrayed and kind of like, oh, you kind of replaced me with your husband, right? Now you don't meet with us anymore. So I did not give those nights to my friends.
So really, basically, we created the time for our spouse to move into.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that time for that to spend with them was already available. It wasn't bound up in a bunch of busyness and work and doing other things that have nothing to do with building connections.
So it doesn't matter if you're single or if you're married or if you have someone you're in the dating, in the courting, in the getting to know someone, dedicate Saturday nights for your date nights. We recommend Saturday nights because it is after a day of rest and you have more energy and more, to give to another person. So hopefully that was hopeful.
Yeah. And if you take action, that is. If you don't take action, then...
That's right. Then scratch it. Go watch another video on something else.
The best course on earth won't work if you don't work it.
And if you like it and you're on YouTube, obviously you know the thing. Subscribe, like,
click the bell notification button.
That's right. And come back and watch more videos, because we're coming every single Wednesday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern time.
And our content is only going to continue getting better because we ourselves are learning and growing, and we're humble, coachable, teachable. That's right. We answer your questions as they come in. We address them in the next video.
That's right.
Until next time, blessings. See ya. Bye.
Bye. Oh, you're still here? Oh my goodness. Okay, bye now.